Everything happens for a reason. Remember hearing that? Well, to some extent it's true, but not in the way you think. Coincidence. What is it? It's a mathematical calculation in the digital world. It's always been there, but we were never taught about it. Coincidence are signs, which most of the time we tend to ignore. Coincidence tells us a lot about the world we live in. There are two kinds of coincidence, man-made and universal. Man-made coincidences try to achieve a goal. Universal, like everything else in life, tries to achieve balance. When universal coincidence happens, it's the matrix hologram attempting to sync realities. I guess by now you know where I'm going with this. In this video, I'm going to show you how coincidence can prove we live in a simulated reality. Have you ever seen or had one of those coincidences where you say to yourself, what are the odds? I'm going to share with you two of them that I experienced that really stuck out to me and made me start to think. Many years ago when I was living in California, I heard on the news that there was an accident on one of the major highways involving a plane and a car. Wait, let me tell it to you this way. It's between 2 and 4 in the morning. Man and wife at home. Wife gets really sick, so sick to the point that the husband has to drive to the store to get her some medicine. He's the only one on the highway. Now at the same time, there's a pilot having engine trouble and have to make an emergency landing. He makes an emergency landing on that same highway and crashes into the only car on the road, killing the driver. The pilot survives. How crazy is that? I hate to say this, but it seemed like it was meant for the husband to die. I think the universe had to alter the wife's reality and maybe kids if they had any to sync with future events. And my second one, which I'm sure plenty of you been there, dating the wrong person. Several years ago I met this girl, and as soon as we started dating, right at the jump, these little coincidences started happening, telling me that this is the wrong person. I'm pretty sure she had coincidences of her own about me. I'm not perfect, but this one, the biggest one, I don't even know where to begin. My best friend comes over to the house every now and then. We play video games, hang out, you know, guy stuff. Even sometimes he come over when I'm not home. He had a key. This one day he calls and tells me he's coming over. Cool. I tell him I'll be home shortly. Later the girl I'm dating calls and asks me could she come over. Sure, I'll go pick her up. My friend has no idea she'll be with me. He's playing video games, and while searching for a game, he sees a picture of me and my ex with a group of friends on the floor. He picks it up and puts it on the fireplace mantle. He tells me later that he thought it fell from there. It was actually on the TV stand under a pile of CDs. That picture was turned down after we broke up over 2 years before. I totally forgot about it. My date came in and it was the first thing she saw. She zeroed right in on it. I didn't even see it. We got into a huge argument. Mind you, we was only dating for no more than 2 weeks. I thought that was very odd. My friend didn't know she was going to be with me. That was a sign. A sign I chose to ignore because I was stupid, because I was no quitter and I was going to make it work. Eventually, my health was deteriorating because of stress. I lost my car in an accident because of her. I finally couldn't take it anymore and broke it off. Those coincidences occurred because the universe has someone better for me, and I wind up marrying that someone. Coincidence always uses accurate precision and have predictive outcome. This got me thinking. You know what else uses accurate precision and predictive outcomes? Numbers. Coincidence tells us that everything we experience are in numbers. Everything we see, everything we touch, everything we feel, smell, taste, all has numbers. There's numbers in everything. Distance, height, weight, volume, even the air we breathe has numbers. The number of molecules in everything. Even food. Steak has to have the right amount of numbers of amino acids, fat, salt, protein to taste like steak. This is how industry mimics flavors. What was the first number that caught your attention? Try to remember that number. If you need to, write it down, but turn the paper over after you write it. Numbers have a funny way of showing up after you notice it, even after this video. But how does coincidence knows where and when to happen? It pre-calculates. It always predicts the outcome before all events occurs. It's keeping all realities in sync. It's trying to maintain balance. Imagine you driving somewhere, you decide to take a shortcut and get into an accident. Doesn't matter whose fault it is. Now you're mad at yourself for taking that shortcut. Probably saying to yourself, if I didn't take that shortcut, this wouldn't have happened. Now, what if I told you even if you didn't take that shortcut, that accident was still going to occur? It may not have been with you, but it was scheduled to happen at that specific spot at that specific time to cause a chain of events to sync all realities for predetermined events that's yet to happen. It's a wonder how stray bullets always catch people while they're sleeping no matter what height they're laying at. Why cars seem to break down on railroad tracks. The universe doesn't discriminate. It saves lives and takes lives, all in the name of maintaining balance. This is the game the universe is playing, because it's a machine. We're living in a machine. But now something made this machine a little off, or maybe overlapping with another universe machine. which is why we keep having these synchronicities. Remember, the universe is predictive. Just a thought, it could be syncing the wrong things. Here's more proof that we are living in a simulated reality. Analog signal is a constant changing signal. If we were in an analog world, there would be no coincidence, only chance. But we live in a digital world, a world where there is either 1 or 0, on or off, no in-betweens. A computer world uses patterns, templates, and mathematical calculations. Patterns like snowflakes. All snowflakes either have 6 sides or 6 points, in rare cases 12. Templates like sacred geometry. Mathematical calculations like coincidence. Now I'm about to show you a few coincidences. You let me know this doesn't seem calculated. Just a rock missing everyone, right? Let's take a look outside the rock. Now, was this rock pre-calculated to come in this small area to miss this couple's head? But here's the strange part. You see this guy right here? He's oblivious to what happened. His arm is at the exact height for that rock to go under it. I don't know if that rock was predetermined to miss the people, or was the people subconsciously made the decision to stand the exact spot that they are to miss the rock. Here's a good one. Check this out. You know, I really had to resist the urge to add a funny sound effect to that. Okay, you know I like pointing out the weird stuff. This guy just comes out taking his time, and then he checks his shoe. That's important. Alright, I had to freeze frame it right here. You see the edge of the glass? Notice the guy is almost exactly center of the glass, if not in the center. A step extra or a step too short, the edge of that glass would have cut through him like a bologna slicer. Not to mention if he was a couple of inches more to his left, it would have been a done deal. The universe predicted this event. Now my question is, did the universe predict him to check his shoe? Or did he subconsciously make the decision to check his shoe to avoid that disaster? Either way, he just happened to be at that exact location at that specific time. Seems calculated to me. Here's another one. A group of people crossing the street, and an accident avoided them. But what I want to point out is the door on this minivan. I mean, look how the door went around this person like it was on purpose. That's just crazy to me. Oh, I'm not done yet. I have more. Most of you may have seen this one already. That poor child, I'm glad she's alright. She's just all over the place. And at this moment, she just so happened to decide to take a break and decide to pick the middle seat. What's odd about this is that the bullets is at her head level. It's like the people that was shooting at short people, and she picked the right spot to sit in at that time. And my final one, you see this car right here? It's about to have a blowout right here. The blowout caused that car to swerve right in front of the car that's recording this video, which in turn he reacts and swerves to avoid that collision just to collide into the only vehicle that's on the shoulder. Now what are the odds that car just happened to have a blowout right at that time to cause that car to crash into the only car that's on the shoulder?
It is weird that we spend so much time trying to figure out the universe. That's an interesting fact.
Well, we're curious.
And
Are we living in a simulation? Tell me right now, please. Tell us on the record.
I hate to break it to you. You want to know?
Well, I mean, what does that mean?
Okay, I'll tell you. All right. You've played video games before.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it means.
Have you any game come to mind?
Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers. Okay. Mario runs around, jumps.
Yeah, because we push buttons.
And he'll jump off a cliff, but then scurry and come back to the. All right. So he doesn't fall.
Yeah.
If you were in that game and you were a scientist, you would start asking yourself, well, what are the laws of physics in my world? And you'd come up with a portfolio of how things move, how things jump, how things fall. And this will be your canon of concepts that matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a scientist in Super Mario Brothers, and I decode all the laws that are operating there.
You mean you get all the cheat codes?
Okay, that makes you better at it. So there you are.
Yeah, you warp tunnels that way.
There you go. So there you are, and that's your world. Why is that any different from this world, where I'm a scientist trying to figure out how this world works?
Okay, great.
So now watch.
I got your answer.
Wait. So now watch. As our computing power gets more and more, gets stronger and stronger, and storage capacity gets greater and greater, we can, in principle, program much more than Mario. We can program characters that have free will.
Yeah.
Whoa, if you can program characters that have free will and let them go, they'll invent things, they'll discover things, they'll create simulations on their computers that they have just invented, and they'll give them free will. And this can be simulations all the way down.
Right, simulation spirals.
So
I'm going to need a nap after this.
I'm
just going to let everyone know that's watching. I'm going to need one nap after this because my brain is definitely gone.
So watch. So we've got one real universe.
Yeah.
And all the ones buried within it are simulations. So now
like parallel universes?
Now I throw a dart. Which one am I most likely to hit? The one real universe or one of the simulations that are there? It's going to be one of the simulations. So
Why? I don't understand that. Can you help me?
Because it's just how many are just scattered,
right?
Right? This universe makes this one makes that, this makes that, but only one of them started it all. That's the one over here.
Right.
That started it. Scatter them on the floor, land on one just randomly. Chances are it's going to be somebody's simulated universe, programmed by some alien in his parents' basement, okay, who had super computing power and put in free will in the characters that are playing out their lives, and they think they are real. So watch. So it could be that we are just the creation.
But that's just a theory.
Well, it's a hypothesis, and it's hard to shake that hypothesis.
Yeah, because you don't have a photo and you can't post it on Instagram. Right?
But I do know that this world gets weird every now and then, which leaves me wondering whether the programmer got bored, and then
or he didn't do the update. When your phone just stops working, he's like, "Fine, I'll do the update."
And then all of a sudden, everything kind of works again in the world, right?
Yeah, it's a reset.
So so a simulation universe is that, and so I cannot guarantee for you that we are not in a simulated universe.
Now, what if this was true, and the only way to identify simulations is to give it a common number? The universe has a lot of numbers that have meanings. The number 12 seems to be the most common. What if we're the 12th edition simulation? There's 12 inches in a foot. 12 is a dozen. There's 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night. Jesus had 12 disciples, which is actually talking about the sun in the 12 months. The most abundant element is carbon-12 that we're mostly made of, which is 666, by the way. Carbon-12 is 666. The mark of the beast is man. It actually says that in your Bible. The circumference of the earth is 24,901 miles, and we probably have that 1 mile because of the bulge. Take that away and it's divisible evenly by 12. We originally had 12 planets. The Earth's tilt, which is still up to debate as to what it is today, is 23.4 degrees. 432 hertz is the divine harmony which resonates with and heals the body. till it was changed to 440 Hz, which does harm by causing stress, negative behaviors, and unstable emotions. But that's another topic. 4 times 3 times 2 equals 24, which is evenly divisible by 12. Halley's Comet visits around every 75 years. 7 plus 5 equals 12. The Great Age, which is 25,860 years, which is evenly divisible by 12. What if the completion of the Great Age resets everything, and we do it all again because we keep failing? We keep failing because we hate more than we love. And the predictions of the Bible was inserted into the program to warn us of what is to come if we don't get along, because it all happened before, over and over. In fact, the Bible would make more sense if we were in a simulation. It would explain the Tower of Babel. Have you heard about the Nigerian boy woke up from a coma speaking Spanish? Sounds like a programming glitch. Now I'm starting to think that the rapture is happening now, but instead of God's people vanishing and leaving Earth, it's more like his people is realizing this reality is not what it really is. So in a way, we did leave Earth, the old Earth of what we thought it was. This is what happens when we make decisions. We affect everyone and everyone affects us. We are all part of this huge game. This is not saying that we are all predestined. In fact, if you can recognize the signs, you can manipulate reality by your thoughts and by taking yourself out of your current situation by consciously not making a decision. You do that by meditating. While you out meditating, this reality is still going on. And when you return, and if you're a positive person, you most likely put yourself in a more positive position. When you make plans, the universe makes plans for you. You plan to go to work, school, or church? The universe pre-calculates all events with you and everyone in it. Have you ever made a last-minute decision and played hooky from school or took off from work? In most cases, it turns out to be a pretty fun day. You haven't made plans, so the universe has to recalculate for every decision you make. Once you make plans, the universe makes plans for you. Now we're going to do a coincidence experiment. Now with this exercise, you have to give me your first thought. You can't think about it or it won't work. I'm randomly going to pick 4 coins out of this jar. Now when I said that your first thought, how many of them are going to be silver and how many of them are going to be brown? You know what? Instead of picking 4 coins, I already have every combination of 4 coins already picked out. And to keep it completely random, I'm going to have my wife pick one out. I have to go get her. Hold on. My lovely assistant, I need you to pick one of these envelopes out and put it on the table where the bowl is. I'm going to move the bowl. Thank you, lovely assistant. You did a great job. Now we have our 4 coins. I don't know what they are, but then here again, I need your first thought. The moment I turned this cup over, your first thought, how many you think would be heads and how many you think would be tails? According to the double slit experiment, the coins are both heads and tails right now until we observe it. I'm going to take myself completely out of this and let the camera be the observer. I'm going to go into the next room and pull the cup away with this string. I'm finna go into the other room. I hope you can see this. It's 3 heads and 1 tails. All 3 pennies are showing heads and 1 dime having tails. Earlier I asked you to remember a number. Did that number match the total of coins that was pulled? Did the colors match your first thought? Are you correct on the heads or tails? Based on my experience, if you match none, you're pretty much on course. Good for you. If you match 1, you're pretty much aware of what's going on and probably needed confirmation. Stay on course. If you match 2, this could go either way. Either this is a warning about the life path you've chosen, or you probably was looking for answers and this is a sign that you're on the right path. If you matched all 3, this is a wake-up call. You may need to make some changes in your life. As always, thank you for watching and thank you for sharing your time with me.